Guys. So, I just wanted to come today and do a video. It's a two-part video. First, I am answering a question to MLA Loves Reborns. How do you pick? How do you choose your reborn? Um, for me, I went through so different many phases of what I like and how I buy. I used to buy randomly, and when I throw out this number, it's not that I'm bragging. I'm just telling you that I've made a lot of mistakes along the way and a lot of oops and I don't like that and regrets and oh I need to get traded out type deal. But I stopped counting, but I think I'm over 35, and I think I'm down to three. Four, I don't know. I think I'm down to about $6 or $7 now, but I've bought over $35, and that tells you how many dolls has came and went through my nursery. And silicones of that number, I've had one, two, three, four, five. Um, I think six, seven, eight silicones. Um, from all different ranges and levels of whatever. Um, but I used to just go off of looks, or I would see a baby done and then I would be like, oh, I want this, and then I would go to an artist and want them to do it. Well, the thing is that the baby that I saw that I fell in love with, when the artists do it, because every artist paint different, when they do their version of it, I may or may not like it as much, and so then that became a problem. Customs just to me just have allowed like a lot of room for disappointment, because my vision is not always the artist's vision, and that's not their fault because they're artists, and so they need to be able to have their creative flow going. And when you start dictating this and that, and some artists are well at that and okay with you giving them specifics, it doesn't bother them, but others it affects the way that they paint and the way that they do. So anyway, so customs, kind of have been a downfall. And then I've bought, just babies I saw and just like, oh, I love that baby. It looks so pretty. And then I get it home and it's like, it's not proportionate. Either the hands are too small, they're too big, the head is too big, the head is too small, or I don't know, something about the baby, a feature I don't like. And it keep eating at me until I'll let the baby go. Or it could be this one little thing. Like it could be as simple as, and I'm serious, the tipping on the fingers. I mean, so now what I do is I fall in love with the sculpt for the most part, and then just like Son was saying, I normally can visualize like what artist would do good with this sculpt, because every artist have their own style and technique. The ones that's not like copycat artists, and when I say copycat artists, they really don't have a style. They kind of just copy other artists' work and go with the flow. I'm not saying that to be messy or anything. I'm just saying that certain artists, you could look at their work style and it's like you could spot their baby anywhere. Like I can spot a Kay baby, a Yogi baby, a Tanisha Crockett baby, a Brooke Nicole, Brooke Nicole and what is that other girl? Sort Bite Studio, that I get confused with theirs sometimes. But all the different artists, you can kind of see their style. They have a one paint style. But anyway, not one paint style, but you know what I mean. They have a signature move on their babies if you really pay attention. But so now basically my answer would be I fall in love with the sculpt, and then I kind of fall in love with the artist's work. Well, I fall in love with the sculpt. I already have a select number of artists that I follow work that I'm in love with. Especially if when I'm doing if I want to get a custom, I have to love that artist's paint style, because if I don't love their paint style completely, then that means there's even more room for disappointment if they do a custom for me. So, yeah. So I fall in love with a kit because I love hands and feet. I love them to be very detailed and realistic. So I like that. I prefer open hands. I think most of my babies are pretty much all open hand except for one has a closed fist. But yeah, I like open hand babies. Um, so I love realistic ears. Um, the head shape means a whole lot to me. I love very realistic baby heads. So that is pretty much what I do. And now I'm kind of like done shopping for reborns for the most part, except for now I don't want to do a custom. I want to see the kit. I know what kits I like, and when I see that kit done and it's done the way that I like it, that's the one I want to try to buy. So if that makes sense, like I don't want to wait for someone to paint anything anymore, or that way I know what it looked like. I also like to strip, like for the artist to strip the baby down in just a onesie, because a lot of times we get so caught up. It's kind of like the box opening thing. Don't get me wrong, I love a beautiful box opening with beautiful gifts and beautiful clothes and stuff. But then it is that point where you do love to shop for your babies and you do love your own style. But some artists are good at kind of doing their box openings, like tailored to that person liking. Like when I got London, Angela did very well. She knew I liked Mickey Mouse and Sesame Street, and she incorporated it in the stuff that she sent, and that was perfect. She wore all the stuff that she sent, so that's fine. But anyway, um, it's the same thing with the babies when they be all dressed up and frilly and cute, and it's like that sells the doll. But then when you strip it down to nothing but the cloth body, does it look realistic? Is it really that cute after that, or is it the clothes that made the doll? So that's why I always be like, can you send me a picture of it just in the cloth body, and then I will know, like, oh yeah, I love that doll. But anyway, so off of that, Saida, which is baby Nadia, had a very, very good topic going on her channel, and it was really heartfelt. My heart just sinks for her, because, and I say that sincerely with everything in me, because of the fact that that is a lot of money, and I kind of had my hands in it with her when she really wanted a Janica, and it's a really expensive, doll or whatever, and then she got it, and she thinks it's fabulous, but it's just not the one. Um, Impulse buying is the one of the worst things. It's like buyer's remorse with no outlet. You can't just return it, especially when you're buying secondhand, because they're not artists, they're collectors, and they usually need that money for another purchase or something else. So you can't just reverse your transaction. Um, but I think what happens with us a lot of times, we see these babies on video, or we see them on pictures or whatever, usually on pictures or something, and we fall in love with them thinking, oh, I love this. But what I've learned to do, especially with silicones, because they cost so much, I watch deep, I try to find more than one video, more than one picture. I try to learn about do it move, the way I want it to move, just a lot of little things, key factors that mean a lot to me. I kind of researched that first. Now, don't get me wrong, I have made an expensive purchase. I did that with my London. That was an impulse buy. And in the back of my mind, right after I done it, I kind of thought, you know what, I'm not going to like this baby. And I did like her, but then it was just the same little things that was there in the very beginning when I looked at the doll that was bothering me. It bothered me the whole time I had her. So, because for me, I don't like big silicone babies. Like, I don't, a lot of people do. I don't like the bigger size babies. I like them really small when they're silicone. So that was my size, and I tried, and I did love her, but it just was little things that just kept nagging. It's just like, ugh. So you have to take the chance of losing money, and they're very expensive. Now the situation with her and her impulse buying is, like, what do you do? I say, whatever you do, baby Nadia, don't take any less than the price that you said. I think that's fair enough. I think a lot of it's so unfair, and I'm not gonna go as deep into it, because me and you have had this conversation before. But I think it's really sad when people try to lowball you or try to get over on you when they know how much the doll is worth, and they think that you don't know what the doll is worth, so they try to offer you something ridiculous. When I was calling myself selling Zoe, I had the same issue. Um, Someone offered me something stupid, and I was just like, really? I was like, do you really think I'm gonna go for that one? I was like, no. And so yeah, hang on, her video stopped. So, all right, here you go, girl. Go get back in your bed. So but anyway, yeah. So hang in there. I think that the right mommy will come because she's beautiful. She's very realistic. You've kept her in prestige condition. So time will come. I think eBay might be your best option, but just be very careful on eBay. Make sure you have a shipper insured. Make sure you do signature required. And there's a way when you ship, I realized that you could do signature required and only that specific person name that's on the purchase. You could have a specific name that only that person can sign for them, not just anybody sign. Maybe you should do that with eBay. Just take that extra precaution. It costs a little bit more, but I don't care how cheap that doll is, I ship with signature required. But anyway, off that. But yeah, Impulse, I have done it. To be honest, even though I wanted Yaya so much and everything, she was kind of like, she was somewhat of an impulse baby. The idea was an impulse, like, I was working off emotions. Oh, let me get this baby look like my sister, which she does not look anything like my sister. She actually favored me as a baby, which is fine. She's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little girl. I mean, she looks super realistic. She's amazing. Lucy does wonderful work. However, I do not touch her. I rarely touch her. That's why I even think Thursday is kind of dwindling off, because I have like no desire to dress her. Like, I like to look at her, but I don't want to dress her, because I do. Maybe I just need to shop for her or something. I do sometime, but I just prefer to just have her pose and just leave her there. And because she's beautiful and she favored me, I want to keep her in my collection, but I'm definitely not a toddler person. You guys won't ever hear me saying I want another toddler. It's just not my thing. I think up to like a 9-month size baby, or a baby that can wear 3 to 6 months, is as big as I need to go, because I'm just not into them. So yeah. But anyway, this video is gonna come to an end because I want to be able to upload it. I did some videos and I can't upload them because of the length of it, and YouTube is just like giving me such a hard time. But if you guys don't know, that is Paris Mia Moore. This is Paris Mia Moore, my sweetie pie. I'm really enjoying her in the new body and her new look. And then there's Zoe. And Paris Mia Moore is done by Daniel's Weirs. She's a very older kid. Her vinyl is really soft though, and she, believe it or not, I think she's still one of my kind of expensive babies that I paid for. She was my very first Yogi baby. And